Hello, good day to all of you. My name is Blair and welcome to another OS operating system. Today we're gonna take a look into Linux Edubuntu 24.04 LTS or long-term support. I think they don't have the app for the welcome page. So let's try to go to the website. So the website is edubuntu.org. So it is freedom for every classroom. It is stable, secure, and private conscious option for schools. Education is the key to unlock the golden door of freedom. The software library takes advantage of the huge ecosystem of the free educational software. Of course, I am an educator, a science and computer teacher. So I use most of the time all of my software right here on Edubuntu. Resource friendly at the same time, both software and hardware are friendly. You can run it into your old laptops, old computers, or older hardware. It is friendly because of less of e-waste or electronic waste. Instead of like throwing your old laptop or computer, you can refurbish it and run it with Edubuntu. Yes, more e-learning, because as you go along with these old laptops and new laptops, when you install this, you will learn about hardware and software. Language support. In the spirit of Ubuntu, Edubuntu OS supports a wide array of languages. Free and open source. You can download this one. Just click download and then you are on their image ISO file. So for your desktop, click this one. It is based on computers with AMD, Intel, Athlon, and all those stuff. The minimum requirement is just only 1 GB of random access memory. For ARM based, we have this one. You have also options down right here. After that, you go to the Balena Etcher, etcher.balena.io. That is their download page. So to download the Balena Etcher, just click right here. It will automatically select your preferred OS. Either you have the Windows, Mac, or Linux. And then when you are in their Balena Etcher, a USB bootable application, select your image, your ISO file, Edubuntu 24.04 desktop AMD 64 ISO file, and then select your USB. Reminder that if you use this one as a bootable USB, your USB will be completely wiped out or erased. And then after that, flash to make your USB bootable with the Edubuntu ISO file. So let's go to the Edubuntu team. The Edubuntu team has 3 major contributors. We have Amy, the project lead for the Edubuntu, professional educator for nearly 2 decades. We have her husband, a technical contributor for the Edubuntu and the project lead for the Ubuntu Studio. And finally, we have Jonathan, a software tester and a student consultant for the Edubuntu. So you have to thank for them that made this possible. Of course, to the supporters and the contributors who helped this Edubuntu possible. Edubuntu's mission is a community effort that seeks to bring the foundation of the Linux desktop and a vast library of open source educational software into the classroom. If you want to make the contribution to make Edubuntu better, just go ahead and click the link right here. And if you have some question and if you want to keep up to date in all things in Edubuntu, they have the Twitter X link right here and the Mastodon. So the desktop UI or the desktop user interface, we have the dock, the upper dock right here, or the panel or the taskbar. We have the options, the windowing right here. You can have the windows right here, or if you have the options to have an extension right here. I put the extensions right here so that I could like easily click the apps. And at the same time, we have all this extension right here, the 3 world clock plus the UTC. Let me turn off the extensions first. I'll turn off this one. So it looked like this, but of course I just turn it on because I need those clock on that is on the center of the dock panel taskbar. On the right side, we have the notification keyboards right here. I have the English, Filipino, and Thai. And then the other one, we have the battery indicator. I'm charging it right now. We have also the screenshot. Either you select it or the whole screen or one of the selected windows, and then click right here to capture. You also have the screen lock right here. The power buttons has the suspend if you want to make it sleep, to restart your OS, to turn off your computer right here. And you have also the log out if you want to change the user. If you have different types of audio capture right here, like for example, I have the speakers and the USB device, so I could like change from one sound output or the audio output. That goes with the input, like the microphone. I'm using the USB microphone right now to record it, and the brightness right here. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, power management. I put it right now into the power saver, not the performance or balance right now. If you want to have the night light at 6 p.m., it will change into dark mode, but I prefer the dark mode or the dark style. And if you want to have the offline, you could click the airplane mode. And the battery capacity, I put it right now into full capacity mode instead of the lifespan or the maximum lifespan mode. We also have the panel. We have the side panel or the bottom panel. We could like make it like left and right or in the bottom. Okay, let's try to go to the settings. It is under the desktop. So it is right now on the left. We could put it on the bottom or maybe on the right, but I preferred on the left. You can change the size at the same time. 32 right now, but we could like make it like 16, as small as possible, or make it like big, like the 48 size, or maybe more than like the 64. But let's just return it back to 32. You can also show the home folder right here. Bottom right, left right, top right. You can drag it at the same time, but I just turn it off. I want to have a clean desktop. Tiling enhancement also right here. So that is our desktop user interface. Let's go to the wallpaper. The wallpaper is on the appearance. At the same time, you could also click on the mouse anywhere in the desktop and then change background. So you have the options right here. You have several wallpaper to choose from. It's up to you for your preferred wallpaper background. You can also add some pictures right here by clicking this button and then select your favorite wallpaper. Let's pretend to use this one, all shades of gray. Let's open and then let's click. So as you can see, it is already like the wallpaper that you installed. And let's just go back to my preferred wallpaper. Let's go to the application. So where is the application? As I said, I already put the extension right here. I could like turn it off, but return it back. So the show apps or the start menu button is right here. So it comes with different software application already, but I installed the Genome Boxes virtual machine, including the Brave browser and the Chromium. Not only that, but also I download the Microsoft 365, the OnlyOffice, the virtual box of Oracle. So let's go back to this one. So we have Arts right here. It is already pre-installed, so you could use this one from your LibreCAD if you are designing. You can also add more like Krita. Maybe let's download later the Krita, the image drawing app. Of course, I also installed the Canva. If you're using to layout via Canva, pre-designed application. Brainy and Gcomprise is also here. We have all games right here. We also have the help desk right here and the KDE partition manager. The learning and the language is also here, from the Crebus to the ebooks viewer and editor. And we also have the Calibre, the Hangman, K-Lettres, and many more. Gradebook is also here. Gparted, you have two options for your partition manager, the Gparted and the KDE partition manager. You also have the maps right here, the genome maps. And you also have the KDE version of the maps, which is the Marble. For the mathematics, we have the Contour, Calibra, and Brunch, Plot. For the Office, we have the LibreOffice pre-installed. But of course, you could also download the OnlyOffice and the Microsoft 365. For the science, we have the Atomics for the chemistry. And of course, my favorite right here, the Stellarium. The Stellarium is a star map application, which is mostly that I use in my students to locate the stars in the night skies. Look for the settings first. So instead of Bangkok, I'll be using Konkan because I'm here in Konkan. Okay, let's move to about like maybe later tonight, like, so we have the time right here. Let's put around 8 o'clock. So that's around 8 o'clock later. On the south, let's go to the north. So we're like trying to look for the North Star. I think this is the one. Yes, it is the North Star, which is the Polaris. So you have all the information right here. Okay, let's turn it off, this one. So try to explore this application. Okay, we have also the social science, the geography, technology at the same time right here, if you are learning to teach the kids how to use the keyboards of the computer. You also have the utilities for your computer right here from the system. Let's turn it on. Okay, let's put it right here. The other side, we'll try to put the terminal. Okay, let's just drag right here. Alright, so let's try to new fetch this one. So as you can see, when I open, it reaches like around 80%, but it is returning to about like 30%, 40%, an average. And as you can see, the memory is just only like 40% because it is recording. That's why I have the recording right here. And the extensions. And of course, we have the system and the terminal right now displayed. So the network is sending because I am sending some information right now because of the internet, because we try to open that one. So it is receiving, but it is not sending anything, but only some few pings. And for the disk, I'm recording, so it is writing right now. So my computer right now, it is way back like 2020. This is the IdealPad 3 Slim by Lenovo. It has a 12 gig of random access memory. My CPU is the 11th generation of i5 computer. Okay, let's try to close this one. So those are our application. So how about the software centers or the app center? So let's open our app center right here. Full screen. The app center right here, we have the different types of software. If you want to search for the application, just go to the search bar right here. So you could explore this one, like the features right here, productivity, from your Firefox web browser to Chromium to Chrome to Brave, LibreOffice, OnlyOffice, Microsoft 365. So that is how easy the Linux operating system Edubuntu distro. The development right here, from Python to PowerShell. Yes, PowerShell is also here. That is Microsoft, because Microsoft is also using Linux. Of course, you have also the games right here. You have also the options to download Steam. Steam is actually using Linux. If you were wondering why is it Steam is available in Windows, because it is using a adapter to use for the popular Windows, but they preferred Steam to run into Linux, including Discord. Discord is also using Linux. Of course, if you want to play the Microsoft Minecraft, you could also download this one. Let's try to download Krita. Here's Krita, the digital painting application. Okay, let's try to download this one. So it is initializing right now. So you have the screenshot. So as we are waiting for the installation to complete to download, let's minimize and then open another package manager or the software center, which is the Synaptic. Before we enter this one, we have to enter our super secret password. So for example, we are looking for some application, so we need to search. For example, we are looking for some application like the drawing apps, and then let's try to search. So we have all those stuff right now. Drawing software. I think we could like see GIMP. Yeah, GIMP is also here. Let us see if Krita is also here. Yes, Krita is also here. So just mark it for installation. Then click mark. Then click apply. For example, let's look for another application. Audio. Okay, let's scroll down, look for some software right here. Audacious is also here. Let's click as mark. It's just like that. And then click apply. So right now, let's open the Krita. Minimize this one. I don't want to open through the app center. Let's click for the Krita right here. Where is Krita? Did I pass by? Oh. So let's click Krita. Alright. We are now opening Krita. So it is loading the resources right now. Krita version 5.2.2. Okay. So we could like maximize this one. So let's click Krita. So there you have it. We have our Krita drawing app. Okay, let's close this one. So let's try to check if we could like, if you are wondering why do we have different types of clock right here. So let's head back to our extension. So as you can see, I have my extension right here. I have maximum of 5 in the dock. You could like edit the clocks right here. So as you can see, I have Houston, London, and Manila. I have my family all over the world, so I prefer to have their time as we communicate to each other. So we don't want to disturb them right now, because in Houston right now it's 12:40 a.m. In London, they're beginning to wake up at 6:40 right now. And in Manila right now, it is 1:40 p.m. And right here in Thailand, it is 12:40. It is lunchtime. In the Philippines, it is about 2 p.m. already. So that is why I have this 3 clocks. I could like give another 2, but I preferred only 3. I could turn it off. As you can see, there is no world clock. If I want to turn off the UTC, I could turn it off too. See? So that is why we could like turn it on, turn it off, the extensions right here, including the desktop clock. So we could turn it off. We could also set some examples right here. Let's use the desktop clock. So the desktop clock, we could like anchor it on the left top or in the center, but I prefer on the left so that I could like control the location. Right now the location of the x-axis is 1332, but I could like move it 1300, but I prefer 1332 just right for me. How about on the y-axis? I could like move it. It is now on 821, but I could like move it into 800. Let's return it in 831. We could also put some borders right here. We could also change the border width. We could also enable the background. We could change the label at the same time, the font size, the time. So whatever you wanted to, you can change it. That's why I use Linux even though I have Windows. I have 3 storage space, either in NVMe and SSD. So I have other locations. I have another SDA 2 for my Linux Mint. The NVMe is for my Windows, and for my Edubuntu I have another one right here. So I have 3 storage space, SSD and NVMe. If you're wondering why is it I have beautiful Extro and Intro for my Windows, I could change my effects like this one, glitch. Also the matrix. So as I said, I just gonna browse it right here and then look for the application or extension application that I wanted to. Some of the extension application is unsupported because it is now running in the new kernel, which is the kernel 6. The open weather is using the kernel 5, which is, so that is our extensions. Conclusion for this operating system: Linux Edubuntu 24.04 LTS long-term support. Well, the installation is very easy. You could install it alongside with your Windows or other operating system. It is a little bit like crossroads between Mac and Windows. The learning curve, it's just like how to use your iPad tablets or Android tablets. When you have first use it, you have to learn from this operating system on how to navigate. Just like if you have your first Unix MacBook. There are also cousins of Linux. So if you are using the iPad or the MacBook, well, it is also using the Unix Linux, so it is still the same. So if you use MacBook and iPad and Android Linux, Android are also Linux, so you also know how to use Linux desktop. Windows is a little bit not customizable anymore. So that is why I prefer to use Linux and Unix for my daily driver to teach about science and computers. If you want to be a developer, I think it is preferred to use Linux, because if you are using Windows and Mac, I think you need to have a little bit deeper pockets. That is why I searched this one. I think this is 7 reasons why I prefer Linux over Windows or Mac as my desktop. Great for programming, yes. It is much better compared to Windows and Mac. It is very easy and not compared to Windows and Mac that you are a little bit paying a lot. Hardware, it is very light compared to Windows and Mac. Freedom to customize is very easy. You don't need to have to pay for just to change your application desktop environment, like to make your Windows look better. In Linux, you have all the freedom. Privacy and security, yes, it is much better to use Linux because in Windows you don't have any password as default. Malware, so many in Windows. Spyware is so many in Windows. Actually, they admit it as they spy on their users. That is why you have Cortana And you also have Clippy, the first generation, and the current generation of the spyware of Microsoft is Copilot. They are trying to listen to you. I could prove it by using Wireshark and Linux application that is trying to download your profiles, your footprints, and all those stuff. They are listening to you. And of course, the distro hopping is fun. You could always change your desktop by changing from Ubuntu to Mint to Fedora to Arch to Garuda to any other like Big Linux. Linux offers you a stable desktop experience, not like Windows, like always crashing. And the last one, Linux distros are free and open source. Even though Microsoft bought the GitHub, but it's actually running in Linux. Yes, Microsoft is now running in Linux, no doubt about it. I could prove it to you by going to my Windows and then try to look into their stuff. But of course, it's another video for that matter. That's my conclusion. It is easy to install. It is a little bit like Mac Windows crossover, and the learning curve is normal to use this operating system. Edubuntu Linux 24.04 LTS long-term support. If you have some question, feel free to ask me. Write it in the comments down below. I'm Blair, your science teacher. Catch another episode of OS next time. And remember that science means knowing. That is why science is cool. Ciao.